Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and its life will not get any shorter. Happiness doesn't diminish when you share it. Both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the airplane, the pessimist, the parachute. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. There are two wolves fighting inside all of us. The first one is evil. The second one is good. Which wolf will win? The one you feed. When you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries, and you rejoice. A bad friend is like a shadow. On a sunny day, run. You won't run away. On a cloudy day, look for it. You won't find it. People never lie so much as before an election, during a war, or after a hunt. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. Spend your money on the things money can buy. Spend your time on the things money can't buy. If you want to get rich, think of saving as earning. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. If the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's. Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. Everyone falls down. Getting back up is how you learn how to walk. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. People are great at keeping secrets they don't know. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. A busy man is seldom visited by idle friends. No flies fly to a boiling pot. Love your neighbor as yourself. Decision-making, like coffee, needs a cooling process. Be silent or let thy words be worth more than silence. Be careful who you call your friends. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Great results can be achieved with small forces. A woman's guess is much more accurate than a man's certainty. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Circumstances make man, not man's circumstances. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Write your sad times in the sand. Write your good times in stone. Better a broken promise than none at all. Leave nothing for tomorrow which can be done today. To get married means to have your rights and double your responsibilities. As a child, I prayed to God for a bicycle. Then I realized that God works differently. I stole my bike and prayed for forgiveness. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Don't judge your greatness by your shadow at sunset. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. You can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Ignorance is the root and stem of every evil. What we know is a drop. What we don't know is an ocean. A friendship founded on business is better than a business founded on a friendship. A friend to all is a friend to none. Be correct with everyone, sociable with many, close to the elect, friend to the few. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Simplicity is the result of maturity. The noblest work of God, man. Who found it out? Man. Judge a man by his questions rather than by his answers. How many things would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? Never ruin an apology with an excuse. Understanding a question is half an answer. Fear doesn't exist anywhere except in the mind. Your ambition is handicapped by laziness. It always seems impossible until it's done. Procrastination is the thief of time. Collar it. When anger rises, think of the consequences. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. Do not look for approval except for the consciousness of doing your best. The life of the dead is set in the memory of the living. A leader is a dealer in hope. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. There are 1,000 lessons in defeat, but only one in victory. The most important thing we learn at school is the fact that the most important things can't be learned at school. Where your fear is, there is your task. When fate hands you lemons, make lemonade. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. Whatever advice you give, be brief. If you can dream it, you can do it. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Those who are hardest to love need it the most. Experience is the teacher of all things. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. There is nothing impossible to him who will try. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. There are only 3 events in a man's life: birth, life, and death. He is not conscious of being born. He dies in pain, and he forgets to live. Words can be like X-rays if you use them properly. They'll go through anything. You read, and you're pierced. The liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt. Everyone sees what you appear to be. few experience what you really are. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hope for. One looking into a puddle sees dirt in it, the other, stars reflected in it. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. The highest activity a human being can attain is learning for understanding, because to understand is to be free. An abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. The future comes slowly, the present flies, and the past stands still forever. A happy marriage is a long conversation which always seems too short. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. Thinking that someone else can make you happy or unhappy is ridiculous. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. Time passes slowly when you follow it. It senses being followed. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Through discipline comes freedom. To put everything in balance is good. To put everything in harmony is better. Everyone, at some time or another, sits down to a banquet of consequences. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Fear of death increases in exact proportion to increase in wealth. Men always want to be a woman's first love. Women like to be a man's last romance. Only a fool learns from his own mistakes. The wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Whoever violated trust once loses it forever. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. Tact is the knack of making a point without making an enemy. If you wish to forget anything on the spot, make a note that this thing is to be remembered. Life did not intend to make us perfect. Whoever is perfect belongs in a museum. If you want to change people, why not begin on yourself? That is a lot more profitable and a lot less dangerous. Time is money. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Seek wisdom, not knowledge. Knowledge is of the past. Wisdom is of the future. Your enemies can kill you, but only your friends can hurt you. The reason why worry kills more people than work is that more people worry than work. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. The only person with whom you have to compare ourselves is that you in the past, and the only person better you should be. This is who you are now. To lead people, follow them. Everything that happens before death is what counts. Begin, be bold, and venture to be wise. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Smart people learn from everything and everyone. Average people from their experiences. Stupid people already have all the answers. You can overcome bad habits only today, not tomorrow. No woman or man really knows what perfect love is until they have been married a quarter of a century. To be able to forget means sanity. Never compete with someone who has nothing to lose. Laws are like cobwebs, which may catch small flies, but let wasps and hornets break through. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. The secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. It is better to make approximately correct decision than to make a precise mistake. A true woman loves a strong man because She knows his weaknesses. She protects as much as she is protected. Do not envy other people's good qualities, but instill them in yourself through admiration. Never close your lips to those whom you have already opened your heart to. If a man knows more than others, he becomes lonely. The first man gets the oyster. The second man gets the shell. Nature hath given men one tongue but two ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. Success is stumbling from failure to failure, with no loss of enthusiasm. The world belongs to the patient. Don't wait for the right opportunity. Create it. Stupid is the man who always remains the same. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. The secret of genius is to carry the spirit of the child into old age, which means never losing your enthusiasm. When we give someone our time, we actually give a portion of our life that we will never take back. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way. If you want a thing done well, do it yourself. Gardens are not made by singing, "Oh, how beautiful," and sitting in the shade. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. He who walks straight rarely falls. Death does not concern us, because as long as we exist, death is not here. And when it does come, we no longer exist. You can hide memories, but you can't erase the history that produced them. The most exquisite pleasure is giving pleasure to others. I would rather be a swineherd, understood by the swine, than a poet misunderstood by men. What we do now echoes in eternity. We stopped looking for monsters under our bed when we realized that they were inside us. Rules for happiness: something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. What we learn from history is that no one learns from history. People willingly believe what they want to believe. True love begins when nothing is looked for in return. Do not say a little in many words, but but a great deal in a few. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. And the same is true of fame. Nonviolence is a weapon of the strong. Never was anything great achieved without danger. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. If a woman is angry, it means she is not only wrong, but also she knows it. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his life? Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. Fiction is the lie through which we tell the truth. Any man can make mistakes, but only an idiot persists in his error. Do more. The race is won by the horse that outstrips its rivals by a head. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. To be angry is to take revenge on oneself for the mistakes of others. Believe nothing you hear, and only one half that you see. Who dares nothing needs hope for nothing. Before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, first make sure that you are not, in fact, just surrounded by assholes. No matter how thin you slice it, there will always be two sides. Knowledge isn't power until it is applied. Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. Learning to let go should be learned from learning to get. If each of us sweeps right under our feet, the whole world will be clean. It is better to light one small candle than to curse the darkness. Real men despise battle, but will never run from it. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front. He who is satisfied with his lot is rich. Do not shake the green apple tree. When the apple is ripe, it will fall down by itself. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. Above all things, Never be afraid. The enemy who forces you to retreat is himself afraid of you at that very moment. Love is an irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. The shortest distance between 2 points is often unbearable. It is nothing to die. It is frightful not to live. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Wisdom is not wisdom when it is derived from books alone. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does. A wise man gets more use from his enemies than a fool from his friends. How much money does it take to make a man happy? Just $1 more. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Ask no questions, and you'll be told no lies. It does not require many words to speak the truth. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it little by little, fills himself with good. Experience is not what happens to a man. It is what a man does with what happens to him. An explained joke is no longer a joke. The time for action is now. It's never too late to do something. Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. Fortune accompanies the brave. It is better to act and repent than not to act and regret. A profession should initially be an act of love and not a marriage of convenience. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Live your life as an exclamation rather than an explanation. If you're going through hell, keep going. There is nothing more unbearable than idleness. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Women make even the men more sophisticated. Do not chase after happiness. It is always in you. Genius is a mind that knows its limits. Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. There is truth in wine and children. He travels the fastest who travels alone. If you want the present to be different from the past, study the past. The best way to keep one's word is not to give it. The lie flies, and the truth limps after it. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. To give out someone else's secret is betrayal. To give out yours is stupidity. What is a friend? A single soul dwelling in two bodies. The art of living well and the art of dying well are one. You don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. Just get people to stop reading them. Trying to forget someone means remembering him all the time. No man becomes rich unless he enriches others. The hard work of the future will be pushing buttons. First, think. Second, believe. Third, dream. And finally, dare. Men cheat because they don't feel needed. Women because they don't feel loved. Nothing makes a man so adventurous as an empty pocket. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. The future depends on what you do today. Manage your mood, because if it does not obey, then it commands. In order to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. He who does not like loneliness does not like freedom. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. Only he who controls himself is free. Children learn by an adult's example, not by their words. In times of war, the law falls silent. Often the lies that are believed become the truth. Well done is better than well said. When in doubt, tell the truth. The one charm of the past is that it is in the past. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. A friend is a gift you give yourself. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. Anything you can settle with money is cheap. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. Marrying is not at all difficult. It is difficult to be married. Be equally indifferent to blame and praise. Most so-called failures are only temporary defeats. You may turn into an archangel, a fool, or a criminal. No one will see it. But when a button is missing, everyone sees that. Without courage, wisdom bears no fruit. The best is always the enemy of the good. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. The thing you think about determines the quality of your mind. We must bring our own light to the darkness. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Anything you dream is fiction, and anything you accomplish is science. The whole history of mankind is nothing but science fiction. If a man is as wise as a serpent, he can afford to be as harmless as a dove. Never put off till tomorrow the fun you can have today. Live every day as your last, because one of these days it will be. Men are moved by two levers only: fear and self-interest. What Paul says about Peter tells us more about Paul than about Peter. He who builds on the people builds on the mud. All that we are is the result of our thoughts. To lead an orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd. No man is free who is not a master of himself. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. Intellect is invisible to the man who has none. Treat your parents as you would like your children to treat you. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Much is expected from that to whom much is given. Intuition is something that is ahead of accurate knowledge. Do the hard jobs first. The easy jobs will take care of themselves. The saints are the sinners who keep on trying. Learn first, teach later. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. A truth is not hard to kill. A lie told well is immortal. The fact that people do not learn from the mistakes of history is the most important lesson of history. Control your finances, or lack of them will control you. The secret to being creative alone. Ideas are born in loneliness. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. You are not what happened to you. You are what you chose to become. The greatest victory is victory over yourself. Receive without conceit. Release without struggle. Since we're all going to die, it's obvious that when and how don't matter. Smile. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Rule your mind, or it will rule you. Problems cannot be solved with the same level of thinking that created them. 10 people who speak make more noise than 10,000 who are silent. Compromise is the best and cheapest lawyer. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Progress is impossible without change. People, in essence, do not grow up. They only get old. No wise man ever wished to be younger. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Do not look back when leaving. Only those who can afford not to lie are free. Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. A man only begins to be valued when he is no longer there. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. No gains without pains. Keep busy. It's the cheapest kind of medicine there is on this earth, and one of the best. Give a man power, and you will find out who he is. When they give you lined paper, write the other way. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. We learn not in school, but in life. The world is boring for boring people. Nothing costs so much in life as illness and ignoring an illness. You can never be overdressed or overeducated. He can do anything who thinks that he can do anything. It is unrealistic to expect people to see you as you see yourself. Recognizing a problem is half the success in solving it. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. True love never has a happy ending, because there is no ending to true love. Above all things, respect yourself. When someone betrays you, it's because it is a reflection of their character, not yours. A donkey loaded with gold will open the gates of any fortress. Throw off your worries when you throw off your clothes at night. One can always be kind to people about whom one cares nothing. Our thoughts make us what we are. Life's biggest tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. Laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. If you cannot have a faithful friend, be your own friend. Genius lies in the ability to distinguish the difficult from the impossible. A fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. Other people's stupidity never makes us smart. One today is worth 2 tomorrows. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Difficulty shows what men are. Great men are meteors designed to burn so that Earth may be lighted.